Welcome to the Vegas Insider channel here on YouTube. As the NASCAR playoffs continue, it's in Charlotte this week, the Bank of America Roval 400. Kevin Rogers with you, along with Micah Roberts. That's right, NASCAR man for Vegas Insider is going to break down all the drivers you need to know who's going to win the race coming up this Sunday. And Micah, it's good to see you again. And we'll start with Kyle Larson. He won this race last year, and Larson at 8-1 odds to win on Sunday. Do you think Kyle's going to repeat this time around?
No, I don't. Even though he won the last race at Watkins Glen, that was good for him. It's only second win of the season. Remember, last year, 10 wins. Big difference. You see these odds every week, and they're lowered, and they're geared like they're looking at last year's schedule and last year's results. And it's a different car, completely different situation. So meanwhile, you can get guys that are doing well on the road courses for better odds, like a Ross Chastain at 15-1 this week. He won an early race at COTA. While you're still getting the same guys over and over. It looks like last year's odds sheet when you see Chase Elliott at 7-2 and you see Larson at 6-1 and Reddick rightfully at 6-1 or Larson at 8-1. But there's something wrong with the odds making symbol like they're using last year. They're using the past history, and everything has changed with this car so much. So it's been tough getting track. This is why we got 19 winners over the first 31 races. It's tough. But you're starting to see little patterns built up with this new car, and that's what I think you have to follow here. So what we have in the 5 races on the road courses run so far this season, COTA was won by Chastain. He's 15-1 this week. Sonoma, Daniel Suarez, he won. He's 12-1 this week. Then you got Reddick at Road America and Indy, 6-1 this week. And then you got Larson at Watkins Glen, Preston Performance 8-1 this week. So I think there's value in the middle of the field and in the outside of the field because I've, seriously downgraded. Chase Elliott's in the same boat, right, Kevin? Last year he won a couple of road courses. The year before, all 2 of his wins were road courses, and I think he won like 7 times in an 11-race span on the road courses over like a 4-year period, all with the same car time period. So this is what we have the difference with now. The new car, he doesn't have no wins in the 5 races, and really was a contender in only 1 or 2 of them. And that's 8 straight races with no wins on a road course for Chase Elliott. So something to think about. And if that's the case, why is he 7-2 this week? There are a lot of questions there. So yeah, that's my take on it. And by the way, Kevin, I don't know, do you like road racing? Does it attract you? Because this is like a thing they've brought to NASCAR and the fans to attract a new audience. It's like a marketing type ploy. Does it interest you?
No. I've watched it, and it doesn't. I hate to say like the circles, but I don't like all the movement. It feels very much like, I don't say like F1, but I just like the circles. I like that more. I feel like it slows down too much with the road courses.
Yes, and this is what they've done. They've tried to capitalize somewhat on F1's popularity, so they think they need more road courses. Last year, 7, we had to do some changes in 2020 with the COVID, and so there was a couple more added on there. But with the popularity of F1 in the U.S., I think NASCAR thinks, well, this is what people like. They like road courses. So let's put these big, boxy, clunky cars out there, like so super heavy on the road courses going left and right. Then you throw in the new car this year. It's completely changed. And those edges that people had, like Larson and Elliott last year, aren't there. But I think it kind of, I think it's a little too much. I was very happy with 2 to 3 road courses a season for my whole life. And they've amped it up. And when I asked some of the drivers about it, they're like, they don't even ask us. Can you imagine that, having a business and you don't ask your drivers about a car, about a track, or where you're going to race, or that god-awful Bristol dirt race? You don't ask the drivers and teams, and you just throw it out there. It doesn't make sense to me.
Now, I want to go back to Chase Elliott for a second, Micah, because he won last week. He has not won consecutive races this year. So I kind of find it, you questioned Chase Elliott, his odds earlier, that Chase has not proven to win back-to-back. That is this just automatic fade 2 on that, saying, well, he's not be able to follow up a win with another win?
No, I think, did he win it? I think he got given the Pocono win by default because of Hamlin and Kyle Busch both got expelled from the race or disqualified. And so the 3rd place finisher at Pocono was Chase Elliott. And I'm not sure if that was back-to-back or not, but I remember something like that. But yeah, 5 wins. I mean, yeah, he's the guy to beat most weeks out there. And last week again, good price on him. Great at the plate races, super speedway races, but the road courses he has been the best. It's one of those things. I think I need like 8-1 on him to take a shot with them. I can't do much with 7-2 unless I'm putting all my bankroll on him, right? So I like to have like 5 to 6 guys, and if I have a guy at 7-2, I have to put most of the money on him. But I'm not that confident in him, and he surely hasn't shown it lately. So I have to bow out, and if he wins, I mean, I'll just say, hey, he's a great road racer, but I have to keep myself open to sort of other opportunities that I think are live out there.
Which drivers, Micah, in the middle, in a sense, are you going to take a look at? We've talked about some long shots that have won, but who are a couple guys that maybe you take a poke at this week that could be in that 20-30-1 range maybe?
Well, let's start with AJ Allmendinger. He's in a range from 10 to 12-1 I've seen. And this guy, this is all he does. He's a career road racer. Both his career cup wins are on road races. But more importantly, he loves this track. He has won the Xfinity Series race 3 straight years on the Charlotte Roval, including last year. So he's the guy to beat, I think, on this track right now, even though his car may not be up to par with some of the other people. But he takes advantage of his skills entering and exiting turns the best, and he anticipates where to be better than anybody. So I think he's the guy I'm going to look at. I'm also looking at Austin Cindric. I think he's the guy that I've put the most money on as far as to win. And it sounds crazy, right? He won the Daytona 500, hasn't done much, but he's still alive in the playoffs. And I'm using that point there because he's got to have a really good race. And if you're in the top 5, you might as well go and try to win the race. And I think he can. Super good. 5 of his 13 career wins in the Xfinity Series came on road courses. This is how he got into the Cup Series and into NASCAR because of his skills on a road course, got him noticed. And this is why he's racing in the series today. So I think he's a good long shot. In the same token, Ryan Blaney, he sits second in points. He's 15-1. Also, Team Penske, they do a real good job making road racing cars. And I look for him to have a good. He doesn't have a win yet this season. We keep waiting for it. But this is where he won the inaugural Roval race in 2018. So I think there's something there for him. And, he might have to bump somebody. But if he gets banged up out of the way and goes for it and he's still going to make it to the next round. So this is the cutoff race. We're going to chop 4 guys in the playoffs. Right now, Cindric would not make the playoffs, but Blaney is already in second in the playoffs behind Chase Elliott, I think, by 2 points.
So finally, Micah, who do you have winning at Charlotte on Sunday?
I have Cindric. On top, and I have Allmendinger, and I have Blaney. I also threw Chase Briscoe in there at 20-1. He won the inaugural Xfinity Series race in 2018 at the Roval. So he's a guy I look for that he's slim lead into the playoffs right now. He's like on the chopping block. He's the next guy to get chopped. He's sitting 8th right now. So I look for him to run a conservative, but I think he's going to be up there kind of the same way like Cindric. He's got a little edge over some of the other drivers. And Christopher Bell, maybe I could take a shot. I haven't done it yet, but those are the guys I'm looking at this week. And, throw it off Larson, throwing out Elliott, throwing out William Byron. He's 15-1 as if he's done something on a road course, and he's done nothing in 20 Cup starts. 15-1? Are you kidding me? I mean, what are we doing here with these odds?
Micah Roberts, you could find his work at Vegas Insider. Does a great job covering the NASCAR circuit, which heads to Charlotte this week. Bank of America Roval 400 on Sunday. Micah, thanks so much for the time. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right, that is Micah Roberts. I am Kevin Rogers. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, best of luck with your bets.